Emotionally, mentally, physically, the guys are dead. They're dead tired. They're dead tired. Michael Malone, head coach for the Nuggets. Now, Shady, I know this may strike a chord with you. You played 10 years, 12 years in the National Football League, all pro, all decade. You have been tired and had to push through it countless times in your NFL career and route to winning 2 Super Bowl championships. So nobody better to hear from on this topic than you. Do you got an issue with Mike Malone blaming the series on fatigue?
Yeah, it was bull crap.
Oh.
Can I say that?
You say whatever.
I want to say the other word. I mean, because like at the parade, I watched you say we going back. To back. Like Drake, right? Back to back, huh?
Said it.
How you going back to back if your guys is fatigued? Obviously, you got to play a lot of games. Listen, man, I truly think that this is an excuse. And I'm actually surprised because Coach Malone, man, Mike Malone, I will give him credit. He's been one of them guys. He's a tough coach, like the old school. When the superstars are not playing well, he lets them have it. The referees are not really calling the calls at the right time. They keep messing up, he'll get on them. And I respect him. So it was kind of shocking to see him say this. How you gonna be a dynasty and you worried about your team being fatigued? It's game 7s, right? Our stars gonna play a little longer. Yeah. Our best players gonna play a little less. That's how it works. I didn't make this up. All the great teams, that's what they do.
That's it.
Right? Steph Curry's, from Michael Jordan to Kobe Bryant to Shaquille O'Neal's. That's what it is. Imagine Kareem, telling Kareem that. Telling Kareem and Magic that. Yo, man, we fatigued, we probably can't win. No, we can win. So I just think that was some bull crap. You know, and I will say this, after a game, I've been there where you be upset and whatever you thinking of, you just say. I think once he kind of reflects a little bit, relax, you know, get the loss out, he's going like, you know what, I didn't mean that. Because that's, I mean, we all been there. Cameras in your face in the games, if you lose, you pissed off. The reporter asks you a question. Right, so I truly believe that because knowing him, he's a stand-up, honorable guy, from my opinion. So I'm going to just give him a pass for that one, because I know Mike Malone ain't
2-5, I feel like that was standing up, and I feel like that was honorable.
You do?
I had no issue. Now, usually I do. When the Dallas Cowboys players came out and said that they were fatigued and that's why they got beat down by the Packers, I said, hold on now. Everybody played the same amount of games. Hold on now, everybody calm down. But I don't know if this was an excuse. This was an explanation. Then there's a fine line.
Packers wasn't in the playoffs the year before, though.
You're right.
2 extra
You're right.
games,
You're right. You're right. You're right.
Excuse, Acho.
Nah, it's an explanation for me, because explanation, he's just offering a fact that clarifies a situation as to why something occurred. The Nuggets played 48 days longer than the T-Wolves last year. What's that, a month and a half? Nuggets played 13 more games than the T-Wolves did last year. When I'm watching the game, they were dog tired. Jokic played 47 minutes. What you want him to do? It's only one more extra minute he could have played. They were dog tired. Jamal Murray left everything out on the court. I don't think it's an excuse, because he was saying, look, they won. They're the better team. Give it to them. But he was at least going to offer us an explanation as to why his Cats was dog tired. Jokic gave everything he had. Murray gave everything he had. Brown gave everything he had. So I just think they was clarifying, bro, they played 48 more games, 48 more days.
So let's just say we played one-on-one basketball, and I said Acho beat me because I was fatigued. That's giving you credit, the other team credit?
But that's not what happened.
That's what he's saying, we fatigued.
But that's not what happened, though. Like, they didn't play one-on-one basketball.
I know, but they played a game of basketball. You saying our 5 dudes or whatever dudes, our team was fatigued, and that's the reason why we came out of this game losing.
If they both ended their seasons at the same time last year, and then they both showed up to play a game and then lost, that would be a crazy thing to say.
So if that's the case, right, let me ask you this, because I'm trying to figure this out. So when teams don't go to the playoffs every year, and other teams go to the playoffs every year, they should be more fresh and better than the team that goes to the playoffs, because they're playing more games. You get what I'm saying?
They should be.
If a team never goes to the playoffs, as soon as the season's over, they're done. They're relaxing in Cancun. And this other team goes to the playoffs every single year. So that should mean that the team that has the less mileage
should win.
If the only difference is fatigue.
Come on, man.
But I think.
So wait, can we look real quick before I let you go? So let's just look at the numbers here, right?
Yes, sir.
I just had this little breakdown, just thinking about it. Fatigue, right? So is it fatigue that the Timberwolves had more fast break points?
Effort.
Okay, cool. So, okay. What about the turnovers? Is it fatigue that they had more turnovers?
I won't make that a fatigue stat.
Okay, is it fatigue that the Timberwolves had 6 more steals that equal points? Is that fatigue?
I won't make that a fatigue stat.
Okay, so I can keep, so I go for rebounds too? Is it fatigue that they had more out-rebounded them?
Like, all of those could be linked to fatigue.
I
don't think it's an excuse.
Right.
I think first of all, I think in post-game press conferences, there is no right answer. Like, there's no, like, secret thing they go, like, secretly, they're all being scammed and they can't focus. Like, there's no answer for why you lost. You lost the game 7. The team is better. So unless he's just going to sit there for 20 minutes and say the other team was better, the other team was better, the other team was better, there's going to be some level of an explanation. I don't love it because it seems like they weren't trying, or it seems like that's an excuse. But Jokic played almost every minute of the game. They weren't, because they were playing the Timberwolves, who have Naz Reid, who have Rudy Gobert, and who have Karl Anthony Towns, who can lean on Jokic for the entirety of the series, whether they're winning or losing. Those are massive bodies on him, 3 at a time, rotating, fresh, because they all have that body type on Jokic. Like, these are explanations. Excuses and explanations is a very fine line, which is probably why we are disagreeing about this. But to me, like I just said, the defending champions for the last 5 seasons have lost before getting back to the Western Conference or Eastern Conference Finals. You're playing more games. And we got very spoiled and very confused because we watched LeBron do this with teams year after year after year. We watched the Warriors do this year after year after year. And so now we expect every good team, every team that wins the championship, to be able to just go right back there. You have more wear and tear. This is a very aggressive team. They clearly wore them down. And I think if you look at the story of the game, that makes sense. They blew a 20-point lead. Like, they blew a 20-point lead at home in Game 7.
Y'all both said that Jokic played almost the whole time, right? Did he look fatigued in the fourth quarter?
Yes, he absolutely did. He missed all. He made a push, but he had how many? He was 2 for 10 overall on 3-point shots. He's shooting 3 points because he's exhausted from going down in the paint.
But the ones that he did make, though, was that late?
Yeah.
Those late. Okay.
Because he's a star, but like,
I'm
like
saying,
the entirety of the game, he looked tired.
If we saying fatigue, right? When I watched the game, Jokic was holding it on.
And then what did Jamal Murray do?
At the end, think about how there was a significant difference in energy expenditure from Jokic and Naz Reid. I believe Naz Reid was the difference in the fourth quarter. Now, we all have our own sets of eyeballs, and we all interpret the game differently. But when I saw Naz Reid in the fourth quarter, I was like, the amount of energy that this dude has and the amount of energy that Murray and Jokic have is not the same. Murray saw Jokic miss that, it was a 2-pointer or a 3-pointer after Ant-Man hit that tray ball to go up by 10. And Murray was just like, bro, I'm done. Like, I saw it, and I was like, bro, you can't tap. But he tapped, and I've said it before, fatigue makes a coward of us all. Now, to Shady and James's point, as a former pro athlete, to me, I'm not trying to hear it. I'm not trying to hear it. I'm not trying to hear any of it. But as somebody who now sits at the desk and offers some nuance, I'm like, yo, I do think the reason they lost that game is because they lost their legs, and the reason they lost their legs is because they ran out of juice.
We are talking about teams that have multiple championships that have been in the playoffs year after year after year after year after year that made deep runs into the playoffs. We talking about fatigue. Y'all boys got 1 championship. We talking about y'all like y'all got 5 of them. That was y'all first time ever going last year with Jokic and him and his team. You talking about fatigue?
But then let me ask you.
Hold on real quick. One thing I know about playing at the highest level, you take on your coach's personality.
Yes, sir.
This is not the first time this has been said. So that's probably why they played like that and why they lost like that, because this is how they coach thinking.
What you mean?
You're talking about fatigued, and you went to you played 2 more series than one team last year. Like what were we talking about?
When you watched, because let's personalize it for a moment. Y'all haven't been retired
anyway. I
long
won't do
enough.
that, yes.
When y'all watched the game, did they not look tired?
Forget this game, though. Let's just go back to the last 3 games they won. We wasn't talking fatigue. We was talking they the best team in basketball. Look at Joker. He's dominant. Rudy should come off the bench. He barbecue chicken. All that was down there. And then you lose game 7. Now you tired?
But then I'll ask y'all. Y'all are basketball minds. Y'all are football minds. Y'all are professional athlete minds. Then why did they lose? It's not, they didn't lose because Ant-Man went crazy. Why did they lose?
I feel like the champs got relaxed. And the Timberwolves was playing like wolves. They got hungry. They didn't. Another thing I don't like, we talking like the Timberwolves just played great that game. They did not.
Agreed.
Fourth quarter came, they played defense, locking up. You getting stripped at half court don't have nothing to do with fatigue. Does it? You can dribble the ball backwards. I'm being serious here. So when you talk about fatigue, it's like, we're weird.
But not only that, I think it's the respect factor for the Timberwolves. They ain't been bums all year long.
Right.
It came down to the very last game of the season. Is the Thunder gonna win? Is the Nuggets gonna win? Is the Wolves gonna win? Who gonna get the #1 seed? Like, they are a good basketball team. They outplayed y'all.
But I think y'all are saying the same thing, James. If a 6 round,
So I don't
if somebody beat me up on the football field, I'm not fatigued, bro. That's not my excuse.
Why did they lose?
Because they played better.
The second half, they got outplayed.
In clutch moments, they made the bigger plays.
Hold on. They had a 20-point lead.
That ain't nothing in basketball no more. That's 20 points is nothing in basketball.
It's the biggest comeback in Game 7 history. It obviously means something. It's never happened before.
If I sit here and tell you they had a whole big thing how no lead is safe no more, right? That's why they had a whole thing with the fouls. Am I making this up? They said we got to calm these fouls down because the point spreads don't matter no more. Dudes be down 30, 40 points and still winning. This has happened this year. So what I'm saying is, and in basketball terms, like you up 20 points, like that ain't that much.
But not only that though, you was down 100 to the Lakers 37 different times, and you came back to win all them games. I know, but what I'm saying is, people are coming back in the NBA now. Y'all making up excuses talking about fatigue as the coach.
It never happened before.
What confuses me hearing it from you two on the far end is very simple. Shady, I've seen you get caught slipping at practice before, right? Maybe somebody tackled you, maybe somebody back then we used to thud. Thud is you don't tackle Shady to the ground, just go chest to chest. I've seen that happen before. I've seen you get covered before by somebody who wouldn't normally cover you. Hey, what happened? Well, Shady just finished a 70-yard touchdown to the crib in practice. Chip Kelly made him run back and go NASCAR. NASCAR meant hurry up tempo, so he just got tackled for loss. He got fatigued. James Jones, if you get locked up by the 6th-round cornerback who has no business locking you up, but you just finished running 2 back-to-back 9 routes, you're better than him, but he locked you up because you were tired. I think there's enough nuance that we can offer in watching this game saying the Nuggets were better at home than a 6-for-24 Ant-Man-led Timberwolves.
So you personalizing. I like that. So are we going to talk, 2 things I want to talk about, right? So you're talking about athletes and all that. Confidence is one. Is that real?
Yes, sir.
Is momentum real?
Yeah,
yes.
I believe so.
Okay, so if you watch the game, like we all did, you seen the momentum switch. It shifted so quick. You see dudes making bad passes, head down, confused. The moment's hot. This is Game 7, which most of these teams haven't been in. So let's just personalize it for real, though. So we're talking about ball. Okay, you playing against a team that's hungry. I think that the Nuggets are a better team. Right?
Yeah,
They're better,
I agree with that.
I do think the Wolves were a better team last night. But overall, I think the Nuggets are a better team. You see a team that's hungry, though.
Yep.
I think the Timberwolves are a more hungrier team.
Agree with that.
Since the playoffs started. That's one part. The second part is the confidence thing. If you watch the way Ant-Man and boys talk, you ever play in a game and you lose, right? And then you come out there so vocal, like, well, we can beat this team. You're like, how the hell he saying that? Confidence, because I know we can beat y'all. And they did that. They showed confidence. And the last part is the momentum. When you're playing lock-up defense from inbound to inbound, and the other dude don't want to dribble the ball up the court, I watched Jamal Murray decline that. No, you take it. Ant-Man in his shirt, yelling, screaming.
But now,
after he having, 13 points, he even scoring. So when you ask me about if it's all fatigue, I can't see that because I seen one team that was super hungry, and they showed it.
But not only that, so why don't we just say that about every team that makes a deep run into the playoffs?
They tired.
We usually do.
But I'm just saying, if the Boston Celtics lose to the Pacers, let's just say, oh, y'all done been to the conference finals. Y'all played a lot of basketball.
I know y'all tired.
Tired.
Because we can have the nuance of what actually happened in the game and what we watched with our eyeballs. We can have the nuance of Jokic playing almost every single minute of the game. The fact that he played 40.2 minutes per game in the playoffs, a career high. This season, 34.6, tying his career high in minutes. And in this particular matchup, they have Naz Reid, Rudy Gobert, and Karl Anthony Towns, big bodies leaning on him because that is how the Timberwolves are constructed. And normally, this fatigue manifests itself in injuries. Not necessarily that everyone is healthy, everyone's available, but normally someone gets hurt. And then we can point to it and say, okay, well, they've played this many extra games year after year after year. That's how it tends to happen. And Jamal Murray was banged up. But because he was out there playing, we can look at this and say, okay, everyone was available. They shouldn't be tired. So nobody likes to say tired, but we can watch this game, watch this matchup against a Timberwolves team and say that perhaps fatigue, whether it's an excuse or not, played a role in them not having the same amount of rebounds, in them blowing a 20-point lead, in them playing sloppy basketball, in Jokic shooting these extra threes and missing all of them. The fatigue is a perfectly good explanation. It doesn't sound good.
Excuse.
Okay, well, I think that the Timberwolves and Nuggets are a very close team.
They are.
I think they're very, very close. That's why it went to a Game 7 in this series. Because they are a close team, there has to be a reason, because people can argue, and Timberwolves fans will argue, and Nuggets fans will argue who the better team is. I think the Timberwolves are the better team because they won in a Game 7. I will always say that. But I think they're very close. So there has to be a reason. It was just that the Nuggets didn't care in Game 7?
No, I hear it. I understand it because you don't like hearing fatigue. That's why I feel Shady. I feel James. Like it does sound like an excuse because being tired is never. Don't let anything without a heartbeat beat you.
Are they on the basketball court too, though? They running up and down the basketball court too. This ain't like an example you saying where Shady scored a 70-yard touchdown and then the next linebacker come off the bench and he just super fresh. Like, these boys is on the basketball court, running down the basketball court with you. You've been dominating the series.
I have a question for both of you all, and then we'll go to break. Sorry, audience.
Can I ask y'all one first?
Yeah, you go ahead first, sir.
So all these other teams that we see do dynasties, right? Are they freaking fatigued?
Great question.
Was Michael Jordan in the Bulls?
Great question.
Were they fatigued?
So, because that couples with my question. In the last 6 years, we haven't seen it. In 2019, the Raptors won the chip. And then they didn't get past the second round. In 2020, I believe the Lakers won the chip. They didn't get past the second round. In 2021, I believe the Bucks won the chip. Then they didn't get past the second round. 2022, I believe the Warriors won the chip. Then they didn't get past the second round. 2023, I believe the Nuggets won the chip. Then they didn't get past the second round. So I would ask you, Shady, I would ask you, James Jones, why haven't in the last half decade? I believe there's more parity now in basketball than ever. There is not a 2017 Warriors with Kevin Durant, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, and Steph Curry. I think there's more parity now than ever. I do believe that fatigue is starting to make some of the difference.
All right, well, I'll say this.
Yes,
because you're going to the Warriors. Now, fatigue can trigger injuries, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but when them guys got hurt, they got hurt early in the season, correct?
KD in the playoffs, but...
No, but the next year with...
Oh, the 2022 Warriors, yeah.
So, I mean, before the fatigue can even sit in, they got hurt early. I just have a hard time with understanding that, I get the fatigue thing. That's part of playing the sport. That's why we have paying all these trainers so much money to take care of the players, to get them in shape and all that stuff. And my thing is, like, all these groups of dynasties we done seen in basketball.
They were better.
Yeah, that's what I would say.
What do you mean?
Meaning the gap between...
They are not a dynasty. Forget what Mike Malone says. I don't have to live my life based off what Mike Malone says.
But hold on.
They were not a dynasty. They won a championship, and then everyone flipped out. Okay, so they are not a dynasty. Those teams that you're talking about, the reason that we hold them in that extra regard over there is because they were better. Because the fatigue did not affect them. Because they were
So they were better. So the fatigue didn't matter. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, I believe the talent gap between the Warriors and the talent gap between the Cavs in 2018 or in 2017 was more significant than the talent gap between the Nuggets and the talent gap between the teams.
I mean, the Warriors.
So a 3-1 lead that Brown came back from. The Warriors was tired, fatigued.
They were fatigued, dog.
I'm asking.
I think there's other
the Warriors
nuance.
were the better team.
There's other nuance. I mean, Warriors fans would suggest Draymond Green suspension. I think there's other nuance, but I just think there's something to not having seen a repeat.
No, you know what, James? You're tripping, dog, and I'm tripping.
I mean, we haven't had a repeat champ in 6 years.
These pro athletes, right? They're fatigued. No way they could have won this playoff series because they were tired. They
I genuinely don't think y'all are tripping. With all that being said, I don't think y'all are tripping. I think that explanation. Tomato.
And this is the thing, too. If you would have told me that the Nuggets have been in, even if they just won one, and they've been back to 2 finals, and it's like, dang, 3 years in a row they done been in the finals.
Right, exactly.
That's something different. Y'all won one.
So what's the excuse for the last 6 teams? Because the same thing happened to all of those teams.
That's what I'm saying.
After all of
I
those
truly
wins,
believe
everyone said that they were going to go on to win multiple championships, and they all never got past the second round for the last 6 years in a row.
That's why I'm saying
a lot of them teams, players moved on, too. Now we talking like that. This day and age, they all moving around.
But not only that, get a team that beat you some credit. You ain't got to have all this.
He started with it.
He did. We gave him lots of credit.
He prefaced by saying, they beat us.
Hey, man, Darrell Reeves, man, he had a good game covering me, but my leg was hurt.
Yeah, you was tired. No, you was tired. You was tired,
This is crazy.
This is crazy. That he should just only say, they just were better than us. They were better than us. For 20 minutes, he should just keep saying they were better than us and not give any kind of explanation, because...
Next question.
Yo, you know what I'm going to do?
You did that too.
This is what I'm going to do, though, and I'm going to show it tomorrow. I'm going to text all my NBA superstars that I know, and I know a lot of them, right? I'm going to start with Fox. I'm going to start with Paul Pierce first, and then we're going to go to Kevin Garnett, and we're going to go all the way down the list. And we're going to ask, because I don't want to trip, right? I hate tripping on TV. I hate to do that. And I want to ask y'all, man, do you think the Nuggets were just so tired and fatigued? How do you, because y'all played, I didn't play hoops, right? I know a little bit, so I'm going to ask them, though, how do you feel about teams that go far and deep in the playoffs, win a championship the next year, lose me because are they fatigued and tired? We're going to find out.
Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak, and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.